welcome back to GreyWolf Towers. My name's Brian. So here's today's video. We're going to do an unboxing on this device here. So this is not the average handheld, but it is a handheld, kind of a console. This one here is actually an Intel based one, whereas most of them are AMD based, which makes it a little uncommon. Out of all of the handhelds that are the traditionally looked at ones, you've got the Steam Deck, which is an AMD based CPU. You have the ROG Ally from Asus, which is an AMD based CPU or APU. You have the Lenovo Legion, AMD based. Pretty much all the major competitors for the Steam Deck, including the Steam Deck, are AMD based. This is the Claw from MSI. It uses an Intel Core Ultra CPU. They have Core Ultra 5, 135 I think it is, models, and Core Ultra 7, 155 models. And then they're now releasing, it was supposed to be released about a week and a half ago as of the filming of this, but it got pushed back for another week and a half or so from today, on February 4th. So there is a Claw version 2 coming out. This is the Claw. The new model, or the new version, is the Claw 8 AI Plus. So this is the A1M. So it fits inside the box, so it kind of tells you right there that it's not going to be a beastly sized one, as opposed to the previous video, which I will try and link here, on the Lenovo Legion Go, which is amazing, by the way. I will do a video on that one and let you all know what I think of that. This is smaller. It's more in line with the ROG Ally as opposed to the Legion Go as far as size and features and things. All of the models that I've seen though so far, the Ally Z1 Extreme, the Legion Go, and the MSI Claw, all of them are better than the Steam Deck in my opinion. The only thing the Steam Deck really has going for it that none of the others have is two of the little touchpads, like mouse pad type things. That's it. It doesn't have anything else going for it other than it was the original. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at this now. On the box, you have obviously the image of what it is. You've got the fact that it is the Claw. You've got MSI over here, Claw over here, Claw logo, MSI there. On the back, you've got things like where they're based out of, what countries they have, the information about the serial numbers, things like that. Up here you have the model information, which also includes the serial number. You've got the breakdown of what's involved as far as the different icons that are used for things like the fact that it uses some recycled materials, that you should not throw it in the trash, Intel Inside, MicroStar International, which is MSI. It was originally sealed. I did, however, break that seal for registration of the device. So it is brand new, never actually taken out of the plastic sleeve that it's in. I just wanted to go ahead and register it. This was, by the way, purchased by me. I did not get it as a sample. I have not gotten any electronics like this as samples, but if I do, I will let you know in the video that it is a sample product. I did break the seal already, but it was a piece of tape with MSI on it that shows that it's MSI's tape. And then inside, it looks like this is empty from what I've seen. Yep, this is just a spacer basically, no actual items inside of it. And I kept everything where it was. So you've got the little booklet, whatever you want to call it, that talks about the steps to do. So it says plug in, so you're supposed to plug it in, power on, Windows update, MSI Live update, scan for more tips, Please perform all available updates through Windows Update and MSI Live Update before use to ensure best performance and up-to-date features. So basically it just tells you do all the updates before you play with it, because there will be feature updates and things like that that will be needed, driver updates and whatnot. I have heard that there are some changes in the MSI Claw software package. They have the, what do they call it, the MSI Live Update. So there's MSI's Command Center 1 and Command Center 2.0. 2.0 does have some changes to it, so do keep in mind that what is previously installed may or may not stay the same as you update. So again, I have never used one, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. So for all I know, MSI Center 2.0 is identical to 1.0, but from what I've heard and read, it is different. We have handheld. It does not come sealed, kind of disappointed in that. But like I said, I basically I read some serial number information off onto the website so that I could get it registered. Alright, and then we've got some more information there. And wow, okay. That. Alright, so it looks like that is the looks like that's what's included. So we've got the power cable, the claw itself, and some information. Now this here says we're here to help U.S. online customer service. So this is going to be the warranty and quick guide. So that I will probably take a peek at in a little bit. We're going to move this over here for a second. Let's go ahead and put this away. So the power adapter does come with a little plastic peel away to guard the edge, not the main parts, but the edge from scratches and whatnot, and I'll be taking that off shortly. It is a 3.25 amp, 65.0 watt, so 65 watt charger. It's very similar to a laptop charger, just smaller. So you've got the cable that goes to the wall, the power plug, which has the same kind of end that most laptop charger bricks have. You've got that in here. Looks like a sticker for ordering them from the website. USB-C for power. It does have a reusable Velcro strap on it here, so that is nice-ish. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with those. So I love to have them, however, I hate that they collect dirt and hair like nobody's business. So if you ever travel anywhere, like if you go to a hotel or to a restaurant or to an airport, I mean anywhere basically, your car, it gathers all kinds of gunk and junk. I kind of hate that aspect, but I love keeping my cords organized. So that is good, at least they gave it. I mean, they could have skimped out on the 5 cents or whatever it costs to make it and not have given one at all, which would have been disappointing. So that is what's included in the box packaging. Alright, now for the moment of revealing the actual device itself. I'm going to pull it out. We're going to go over some of the buttons that I'm aware of. I'll show you where all of the buttons are, but I'll show you which ones I specifically know the names of. And I will do a review video on this probably a couple months from now is when you'll see it. A couple months from now I'll do the review. A couple months from the release of this video you'll probably see it. So we have the device. It has a 7-inch screen. You've got the control pad here, control pad here. Now these control joysticks, they have rings around them that are RGB, which should also be software controlled through the MSI Control Center. You have X, Y, A, B, so you've got the regular joypad here. You have two buttons here. I don't remember which is which, but one of them is for bringing up the command center, if I remember correctly. You've got two more buttons over here on this side. They have labels on them, but none of them have a symbol that I recognize. So you do have the D-pad here. I will try and put underneath here or above here what each button does. So you've got the top left, you've got the bottom left, you've got the top right, the bottom right, and I will try and label which one does what activity when I edit the video, because by then I will know. You have a power switch, which I'm not sure if it includes a fingerprint scanner like the ROG Ally does or not. You have a memory card reader for the micro SD cards. You have a USB-C, which would be for the charger. And that is the only USB-C on this version of it, the A1M model. The second model, the Claw 8 AI Plus, I believe it's like A2M or something like that for its model, does have one here and one on the bottom, but you've also got over here a headphones jack for the 3.5 millimeter. You've got the, I'm going to call it a rocker, but it does look like two independent buttons that are just very closely placed for the volume control. So you've got volume down towards the center, volume up towards the outside. You've got right bumper, right trigger, left trigger. You have the ventilation, MSI logo, your model information, things like that down here. You've got a back button on each side. So I'm just trying to get a feel for it real quick because, like I said, I haven't used it. And honestly, it feels pretty comfortable in the hands. A little off on this area here. I'm not sure if rounding it would help, but a change in shape slightly would be beneficial. It's not horrible, but after several hours of use, it could be pretty brutal. I don't remember the exact rating of the battery, but it is one of the higher end batteries for the first generation of handhelds versus the Steam Deck, the Ally first model, not the Ally X, and the Lenovo Go. The Claw, this model has the strongest battery and the longest battery life, from what I understand. So the Go 2 is supposed to have an increased battery. The Ally X has an increased battery. Things like that. I haven't seen a Steam Deck 2 noted, detailed, so I don't know if they're going to make one or not. This does run Windows 11, so it should be home. They don't usually put Pro on these devices. The Ally original, not the Ally X, but the Ally Z1 Extreme had 11 home. This is supposed to have, I believe, 11 home. And so overall, they're very nice to have for portability. They are very light. I'd say it's probably about 2 pounds. I'll correct it down here or up here if it is off by much, but most of these are roughly 1.88 to 2.5 pounds. And I'd say this is closer to the lower end, so probably somewhere in the 1 3/4 pounds to 2 pounds. So roughly 1 kilogram or slightly less to most of those who use metric instead of imperial. It does have a screen protector. The I'll say 3 items that I don't like is, one, there's no touchpad at all. It is a little nice on the Legion Go. I do enjoy that, but it does sometimes get in the way, so I can understand omitting it. It's kind of a take it or leave it type thing, but it's kind of cool at the same time. 2, the detachable joysticks or Joy-Cons or whatever you want to call them, controllers, is very cool in my opinion for the Lenovo Go. It's also a somewhat unique feature. I really enjoy that with my Lenovo Go. This is going to be more strictly just a portable gaming unit as opposed to a portable computer tablet type feature, whereas with the Lenovo Go, I can actually take it and I can take off the controllers and use it like a plain tablet with no controllers. I can use it completely like a Switch if I wanted to game on it. Either option, controlling in my hands with a little device to connect the controllers, using it as the Switch itself like this, put it in a dock to a TV and control it from across the room. All that kind of stuff is available. This, I have a 7-inch screen. That's what I'm limited to. It's very similar in size to a Switch OLED for the Switch 1 models. It is lighter than the Lenovo Legion Go. It is smaller, both screen size, physically, width and thickness, and weight. So it is not bad. It's pretty cool. It's probably roughly the same weight as a Switch OLED, maybe slightly heavier, but not a whole lot. So I'm gonna enjoy trying this out and testing it. On the bottom, there is nothing here. There's nothing on the bottom, no labeling, no emblazoned items, no ports. It's just straight plastic. My understanding is that over here in this general area, if I remember correctly, it's one area or the other, but I'm pretty sure it's on this side, is where the M.2 slot is. It runs either a 2230 or 2242 size NVMe, but there are adapters that you can buy that adjust it so you can set, instead of this way, it goes this way, or this way, to give you a 2280 M.2. So there is some expandability. This specific model is actually the Core Ultra 7 155 model. I'll correct that down here, but it is the Core Ultra 7 model, which is labeled right here in this little Intel Core Ultra 7 sticker. And it is the 1 terabyte model. So it is not the 512 gigabyte model. So I do have a little extra space in this versus my Lenovo Legion Go, which is a 512 gigabyte NVMe. Both of them have 16 gigabytes of DDR5. And the CPU in this one, like I said, is the Core Ultra 7 155, whereas in the Lenovo version of it, it is a Z1 Extreme is all I remember from it, but technically it's like a 7840 or 7880 or something like that, running the 680M integrated graphics. This is actually supposed to be very similar in performance, a little bit below in the video, but better in everything that's not graphics related. So in any kind of processing performance, this is supposed to be better. So if you want to use it as a portable computer, sucks that you have to have it not as a tablet, but as a full-featured controller with no touchpad. You have to add the touchpad or mouse keyboard combo separate, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This one is supposed to have a little bit more computing power, longer battery life, little weaker frames per second score, but overall pretty good. You do have some ventilation up here, ventilation back here. So there's a lot of good. It's supposed to be cooler than the other models and a longer battery life. And it's got the AI features of the Core Ultra series, which has it integrated in all of their chips, which is something that I like. So that's kind of cool. Mostly I got this to see how it compares to the Legion Go, but also I mostly got it so that I can give one to my son to use when we're on trips, so that he has something portable to use as well, because he likes to play too. So he'll have this one most of the time. I'll play on it to get the hang of it, see what it's like, and if I like it, I may swap it for the other one. But the Lenovo Go is a little bit bigger of a screen, has the detachable joysticks, and is also a 1600p screen, whereas this is a 1080p screen. Neither of these models are OLED. They are just regular LCD, LED, whatever. So keep that in mind. The next generation of the Go actually has a 1200p screen, 1920 by 1200, as opposed to the 2560 by 1600 or whatever it is for the current one. Kind of disappointed. But also, it will have an OLED version, just not the main version at the lower price. You'll pay more for the OLED. The Claw 8 AI version of this that is actually supposed to be LCD, LED as well. No OLED that I'm aware of, but I will correct that down here if I find out otherwise. But it will be the 200 series, 255V or 258V, something like that for the CPU. And so it'll have some updated features. It is supposed to actually be stronger performance, both graphically and computationally, than even the Ally X. It will also have, if I remember correctly, 32 gigs of RAM as opposed to 16. The RAM is shared between the APU for graphics and the system memory. So if you have it set to use 2 gigabytes for VRAM, it will only have 14 gigs to run for the computer side of it for the functionality. So you do have to keep that in mind that, you know, if you're running 6 gigs of VRAM, which you can do, you then only have 10 gigs of system memory on this model. On the other one, you could do 6 and 26. So the Ally X, I think, was originally supposed to have 24 gigabytes, but I don't remember if it came out with 32 or 24. But still, all of the new models are going to be better than the ROG Allies series. And you don't have issues like with the Ally Z1 Extreme, where just running it, the heat dissipation system was so poorly designed on the Ally that it would fry the memory card reader and stop it from ever working again. So apparently it was a mixture between the heat and the motherboard's power system. The power delivery system fried it more than the heat, and it was not like 100% of all of the units. It was a small-ish percentage. It was maybe 10% or something like that. It was not like 50% or 80% or 100%, but it was a large enough amount that the one that I got was one of those models. So I didn't do a video on it. I should have. I just didn't think about it. Ended up selling the stupid thing. You can buy them for about $500, and I'll link a link for it in the description for the Ally if you want that. But and I will also be linking the Claw and the Claw 8 AI, the second generation of it. I will link all of those in the description for you to take a look at and see which one you want. This one I picked up for a little over $500 at the time that I purchased it. The release price for the second generation of the Claw is $800. I don't remember what the release price of the Ally was, but the original version is purchasable for anywhere between $445 up to about $500. The prices have been fluctuating, so I can't give you an exact amount because they do change based on sales and stock inventory amounts. But overall, the design looks good. It feels nice in the hands. It feels sturdy. It is completely plastic, except maybe the mesh here and inside here looks like it could be a steel mesh. But aside from that, the shell itself is completely plastic. So do be careful. Dropping it will break it, chip it, things like that. The screen does seem to be LED. The cover has a little grid pattern on it, so it makes you look at it like, is that really okay? But yes, the screen itself is actually really nice. It does have a bezel around it, so the actual screen itself is roughly ½ an inch inside both top and bottom, and then a little, probably about ½ of an inch from these buttons in is where the screen starts. So it's actually only about yay big. I know you can't really see it that well, but you're looking at roughly this big of a screen on the device. So again, more closely matched to the Switch than, say, the Lenovo Legion Go. Hopefully the second gen will have a slightly larger screen, and hopefully it will be a little bit higher quality. I do wish that they had higher quality, but most of what I use these for is so low tech, it's ridiculous. I use them to occasionally browse a video on YouTube, browse the home network a little bit, and I use it to play movies and to play emulators. I play games from the 1990s on it, so honestly, your phone can do it, your computer can do it, your handheld could do it, the Switch original model could do it if they would allow it to be unlocked to do it. It really is, anything these days could do it. I mean, all of that aside, this is the Claw A1M series. This is specifically the Core Ultra 7 155 model with the 1 terabyte. I will be doing an update video on how it performs, how it holds up, that kind of thing. I will have it play some basic games. I can't play the games that I personally prefer on it because of the size of the screen. You just can't. If you have really great eyes, you probably could play it, but the games that I play tend to be where you need to see the little spots that you're sending things. I like games more like PC Building Simulator, the original Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 games, things like those where you click on the screen to say where to send the guys, so strategy games. More Fortnite-ish, Call of Duty-ish games may play okay, but with this small of a screen, my eyes, I can't see the screen enough to say, oh, I'm going to shoot this dude that's way out there because I can't see the dude on this size screen. So for me, that doesn't work. But I'll probably have my son, because he likes to play Roblox and Minecraft, I'll probably have him try those out, see how they do. The Z1 Extreme played Minecraft very well. This should have access to the Xbox app so we can play Xbox games on it. I may try out Borderlands or something like that on it to see how it does, but overall I'm not going to play much of that myself. The Minecraft and Roblox may play a bit on it, and then I'll probably throw some emulators on it and see how it does. But I will be updating you. That again, that is the A1M series of the Claw from MSI. I do hope that this video helps you to decide if this is the right device for you or not. If it did, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you have any questions about the product, myself, or the channel, make sure you leave those down in the comments section. And as always, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button that should be in this general area over here so you can keep up to date on our new videos in our community section. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.